When you buy into Disney Vacation Club, you know what you're getting. At the same time, some of the user experience could be improved. Hey, I'm Jacqueline. Welcome back to Pixie Dust PhD. We talk a lot about Disney Vacation Club on this channel. It's mostly factual information, but I thought I would change it up for this video. Let's do some brainstorming on ways we could improve Disney Vacation Club. And if you enjoy the content, be sure to hit the thumbs up button to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can then ring the bell icon to receive notifications whenever I post new videos. Before we get into some improvements I've thought about, here's the one thing we're not going to talk about: cost. Obviously, it'd be better for all of us if the initial cost to purchase a contract was lower, if the annual dues were lower, and if the points required to stay were fewer. And while I won't claim everything in this video is going to be realistic, I think talking about cost is super unrealistic, so let's just table that for this discussion. In terms of user experience, I think there's some pretty concrete things that they could do or improve that would make things better for us, the buyers, and may also make things better for their DVC cast members. The website's not the greatest. I think it needs a lot of help. I personally get errors out when on the booking page more frequently than I care to admit. Disney is not known for its IT solutions by any means. I think this is probably a company-wide issue, not a Disney Vacation Club specific thing. But if they ever wanted to tackle some of their IT needs, I would love to see the DVC member website be a little bit more reliable. I think there's also some added online functionality that would be beneficial. For example, you can put yourself on the waitlist online, which is awesome. I love that we don't have to call to do that. However, can I view where I am in the waitlist? The system surely knows where I am, so why is that not knowledge for me? I don't need to see any real information about who's ahead of me or who's behind me. I think confidentiality here is key, but why can't the system tell me, hey, you're third in line for this request? Because certainly if I see, hey, you're third in line versus, hey, you're 78th in line, those are very different mentalities for me and how I'm going to plan my vacation moving forward. It's a small thing and it's not the biggest deal at all, but technology-wise, I feel like the capability should be there for when you're viewing your waitlist request, it could tell you what position in line you are. I also think it would be nice if we were able to buy one-time points online. This is very easy to do over the phone. I'm just not sure why we can't do it online. Again, not the biggest deal, but it would improve my user experience. And now that dining plans are back, you can add those to a reservation online, which is great. I don't have personal experience with this. However, I have been told that if you add the dining plan to a DVC reservation, you do have to pay for it in full right away. If that is true, I don't really understand why DVC members are forced to pay this off right away instead of perhaps one day before the cancellation window takes effect. For me personally, knowing I'd have to pay right away, this disincentivizes me from adding the dining plan sooner rather than later. I'm probably going to put that off until closer to my trip. You'd think it would be good for Disney to know further in advance how many people are going to have the dining plan at any given time. And I believe if you have a normal vacation package through Disney, if you book a hotel and tickets in the dining plan, you don't have to pay that off right away. Why is it DVC members are treated differently? An online functionality I would love to see added is once you have a confirmed reservation in your DVC account, I would love to see that automatically get linked to your My Disney Experience account. At this point now, I believe I've made 7 separate Disney Vacation Club reservations, and one of those auto-linked to my Disney Experience, but every other one I've had to input manually. Linking the reservation is a really easy process. I just think it's kind of silly that the accounts don't talk to each other, especially when they're under the same email. It's just another step you have to remember to do, especially before your advanced dining reservation day, which feels like it could be automated and taken care of through the online processes. A thing I've heard a lot that I personally don't feel super strongly about, but totally get where people are coming from, is wanting a physical membership card again. Now your DVC membership is linked to your My Magic Mobile Pass, so you can have that in your mobile wallet on your phone. It's nice that that's an option, but there definitely are people who would rather have the physical membership cards. I don't really understand why Disney got rid of this. It was such a small thing, it probably cost next to nothing. I mean, they're out here sending welcome gifts of water bottles and towels, why not just throw a membership card in? Another tangible improvement not in the online space is that I would love to see actual dishes and actual cutlery in the studios instead of the paper and plastic stuff. I assume you get disposables in a studio because there's no dishwasher, so it's harder to clean. That being said, the disposable setup is so silly to me. First of all, it's just wasteful. There still is a sink, there's a sponge, there's dish soap. We can wash our dishes, it's not a big deal. But second of all, it just doesn't make a ton of sense for stays longer than a night or two. If you're staying in the same room for 4 nights and there's 4 people and you get 4 disposable bowls, if you each want to have cereal every morning for breakfast, do you just use the same bowl every morning? The same disposable bowl? I don't know, maybe I'm asking too much with that one. Maybe it is a logistics of not having a dishwasher in the room, preventing some standard of cleanliness that they need for housekeeping. But yeah, 4 of every disposable cutlery and disposable dishware for a longer stay or for multiple people really doesn't cut it, if you ask me. Those were all things directly tied to the user experience, how you're using your membership, and how you are experiencing Disney Vacation Club. The rest of this video is going to be more about extras. I do want to put a big asterisk on this that I'm a big proponent of read the contract and know what you're buying. When you buy Disney Vacation Club, you're buying vacation points. Those get put into your account once a year. You can then use those to book hotel stays. That's pretty much it. You're not guaranteed anything else, not even access to theme parks. So I understand all the extras truly are extras. They can come and go as Disney pleases. However, if we are going to sit here and brainstorm about improving Disney Vacation Club, let's talk about extras too. First, and probably most importantly, is let's find a compromise for resale members. Ideally, I would like to say let's just make the restrictions go away, but I don't see Disney ever walking it back that fully. However, maybe there is some in-between we can land on. For example, instead of 10 to 15% discounts at dining locations, maybe resale members get 5%. I also really don't see what the problem is with letting resale members access Disney Vacation Club lounges. And while I don't agree with restricting new resorts, if we were going to come up with a compromise, maybe it's that resale members can book the newer resorts, Riviera and newer, but maybe they start at 6 months instead of at 7 months. This way, home resort owners still get the 11-month priority, full DVC members get that 7-month first jump, and resale members still have to wait a little bit. Ostensibly, the very popular times will be taken by the home resort owners and the full members who book at 7 months, but hey, if there's a bunch of rooms still left at Riviera, why not let the resale members book them at 6 months? I also just generally disagree with taking things away from resale members. I think the model should instead be adding things of incentive to full members. So really anything all members were getting before, Moonlight Magic, all that stuff, I think the resale members should get too. I just feel like Disney's never gonna go back to that, so trying to find something in between. I'd be very interested to hear what you all think about resale member perks and extras. What would you like to see? What do you think might be realistic to see? As is, there just are 2 classes of DVC members, which is very silly because we're talking about a timeshare at the end of the day. Moving on from resale restrictions, let's then brainstorm a few things they could add to full direct DVC members, those perks that would make it worth it, or more worth it at least, to buy in. Personally, I would love to see some amount of day tickets to the parks at a slight discount. It's fantastic that Disney Vacation Club members who are out of Florida State can buy that second highest tier of annual pass, but not all of us need the annual pass. If instead there was an allotment of discounted tickets, I think that would be a really fantastic perk. And it could definitely be capped at something reasonable. I'm not asking for an unlimited amount of discounted tickets. For example, it could be each membership could buy up to 6-day tickets that were 5-day park hoppers per year at a 15% discount. I think this would be fantastic for some members like me that really don't need the annual pass, but even for members who do have the annual pass, but say their family or friends are coming for one trip. To have that small discount on day tickets could be very meaningful and definitely draw more people into buying directly through Disney. On a similar note, perhaps Disney Vacation Club could come with a voucher for free Memory Maker for one trip a year or similar, and/or vouchers for complimentary shuttle rides to and from MCO Airport. Another thing I've heard happen on rare occasion, but I think probably could happen more often, is just including room upgrades. If you book a standard view studio, but there are preferred view studios available for your whole stay or a 1-bedroom available for your whole stay, just upgrade people now and again. It's very common practice in other hotel chains to do this. I'm not really sure why Disney doesn't. Part of me is like, well, DVC's probably very full all the time, but I know when I was there in September 2021, that was not the case. Certainly wouldn't happen all the time, but if that was just part of the general ethos of like, we'll upgrade you when you can, and they publicize that, I think that would build a lot of goodwill. Another thing they could do that may not prove to be very popular, but I think would be an interesting experiment, is to make the DVC points cost of non-DVC stays more reasonable. Using your vacation points to book a vacation on Disney Cruise Line or Adventures by Disney or similar is a very bad use of points. The conversion rate is bad. I'm not saying the conversion rate needs to be great or good or even enticing, but maybe it could be better. If they did that, I think it'd be really interesting to see how usage did or did not change. Next, those who qualify for membership extras do get a modest discount at a vast majority of the table service restaurants around the Walt Disney World Resort area. However, I think it'd be nice if there was just a little bit of a discount at quick service locations as well. And similarly, could they please bring back Tables in Wonderland? For those of you who don't know, Tables in Wonderland was a program that you did pay into. I believe it was most recently $150 per year for Disney Vacation Club members. Florida residents and annual pass holders did also qualify to buy Tables in Wonderland. This had a few perks, but basically it was a 20% discount at most table service restaurants, including alcohol. You did also get free parking, and I think there were some member exclusive events, but the 20% discount on your table service restaurants, including alcohol, is very enticing. It did automatically add an 18% gratuity, but hey, you should be tipping that anyway, so you're still getting 20% off. This was very, very popular for a long time because if you like going to table service restaurants, it is not hard to make up your $150 fee pretty quickly. DVC members that do qualify for membership extras, again, do tend to get 10 to 15% discounts at table service restaurants, but I'm pretty sure all of those exclude alcohol, so Tables in Wonderland was super great, especially if you're the type of person that would order a bottle of wine at dinner. I know this was a really popular perk. I never got to experience myself. It's something I wish we could do. Tables in Wonderland has been suspended since the pandemic. It's never come back, not for anyone. This isn't a DVC only problem. Like I said, other people qualified for it as well. Therefore, bringing it back wouldn't really be an improvement over prior years of DVC membership. However, if it did come back, it would definitely be super celebrated. I think we would all be really stoked to see it. Another added perk I think might be possible is if they gave DVC members a certain number of lightning lanes that they could redeem per year. Ideally, this would be in lieu of buying Genie Plus or individual lightning lanes, though I wouldn't be surprised if they tied it to, hey, if you buy Genie Plus, we'll give you 1 additional lightning lane or something. Monetarily, it would be a very small gesture, but my general sense from the DVC community is that they miss those types of small gestures. Overall, in the Disney Vacation Club community, I certainly feel there is a sense that members don't feel heard, they don't feel seen, they don't feel like Disney Vacation Club are engaging them and actually asking what they want. Maybe even just send out a broad member survey about what do the members want and what would it take to make buying into Disney Vacation Club directly through Disney instead of on the resale market appealing. For the most part, the things I just rattled off in this list will not make up the monetary difference between the savings you'll have on the resale market versus buying directly through Disney. However, the ethos of a lot of these things is making sure that your members feel seen and valued, which I think is something a lot of people feel is lacking right now. Let me know what you think, and I would love to hear about any improvements you would like to see with Disney Vacation Club. Again, I think there's a bunch around price and cost and resale restrictions that are pretty untouchable. We can all wish for them, but it seems unrealistic for me. But if we push ourselves to brainstorm harder, there's some other things we can come up with. I doubt I'll see major improvements in Disney Vacation Club anytime soon, especially not on the website side. IT is not their strength, but a girl can hope, and if/when any of these happen, I will be so pleasantly surprised. I'm excited to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks again for watching. I hope the rest of your day is magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.